What's going on, guys? Today is July 13th. It's a Friday, and that means that it's time to get all my mailers out for the week. So I've mentioned this before, but what I do daily is I run a dog walking business. So every day I drive to people's houses, I grab their dogs, and then I go walk through different neighborhoods. And while I'm out there, I'm constantly looking for property. It's actually how I found my first flip, was walking a client's dog past a distressed property, which I knocked on. So what I'm doing right now is writing some letters on some yellow lettered notebook paper. And what I do is during the week when I find those properties, I like to take a picture of them and then save it on my phone with like a couple of notes, you know, where it was, obviously, anything I noticed about it. And then at the end of the week, I group all those and I write letters to each one. The letters are mostly the same, but with small differences, like depending on the property. Like, for example, if I noticed that a place had like super tall grass in the front yard, I might mention that just to let them know that this isn't like a scam or anything. I really did walk by, and I'm coming to. I'm going to come back and knock on it. But we'll get to that. So step one is definitely getting these out. This basically says, hello, my name is Jack. I grew up in this town, and now I'm buying houses for a living. I was walking by your property, and I noticed XYZ. Maybe it needs a little bit of work. Would you be interested in selling it to me? I try to ask that question straight up. And then I explain a couple of benefits of working with me. For example, if you do decide to sell and work with me, you won't pay a commission. I don't have to get a loan, so I can close quickly. If you have a ton of, like I bought a hoarder house one time, and I told them they could just leave everything and they didn't have to clean the house out. I'll take care of it. That was like a huge relief for them. So just mention a couple benefits of working with you, why they should do business with you. And then step two, after these letters go out, like I said, today is Friday, so probably about Wednesday of next week, I'll actually go out and knock on the door to these houses. I'll put a shirt on and I'll bring some business cards and I'll try to put a face to the name on the letter. Usually people are pretty excited when I get there if they want to sell, but believe me, I've been getting thrown off porches for about a decade, so it doesn't hurt my feelings anymore. So this is what I'm doing, and I've heard all types of different stuff about writing these letters, that they work, they don't work, but in my experience, they do work. I get a response. I've actually measured it. It's usually about 5%, so every 100 letters, I might get 5 people. But I've tried to cut those numbers down by being a little bit more picky with the properties that I'm writing to. I try to make sure that they're owner-occupied. I try to make sure that I'm not wasting my time just blanketing letters, which I used to do. So now I try to make it a little bit more specific. But they do work, and I've heard of people doing things like dropping a piece of candy into the envelope to make it feel bulky so that people don't just say, you know, this is junk mail and just trash it. They might actually, I can't help but open this. I got to know what's in here. And then it's a letter. I always try to handwrite them. I don't always try to. I handwrite them. I never type them because I feel like that could be... it looks like it's a mass mailer versus, you know, my crappy penmanship. It's honest. I'm obviously, you know, one person. I'm being straight up and straightforward with the seller, so they seem to appreciate that. I don't want this video to run long, so that's what I'm doing. If you guys have tips on stuff that's worked for you in the past, please, you know, leave it in the comments, share it. It's a community, and we should all be kind of biting tips and tricks from each other. So that's what I'm doing. Let me know what you're doing, and I hope to hear from you. Thanks.